Welcome, this is Crypto Mentor Foski from Crypto and on this video I'm excited to be bringing you the lecture on how to use crypto indicators, Binance crypto indicators to make your analysis while attempting to enter into trading positions. Now these indicators, if you have knowledge on more than 1 to 2 to 3 of them, in trading, whatsoever trade type of trade you are applying, maybe intraday, day trading or long term, you are going to make on 90 to 100%, you are going to make your analysis right and spot on. So these indicators help me a lot in my trading, and I believe will help you too. So follow me on this video as I get you to know how these indicators function and how best they can help you to make more profit and reduce losses in your trading daily. Now clicking on this page now, we are going to use the BCH for the sake of this tutorial. Now clicking on it opens. There are four things I would like to show you now. First of all, how to identify the indicators, then how to navigate some of the options on this page before we go into it. So quickly, clicking at this right corner here, you see the place for indicators, you see the option for height. The height simply means you can increase and enlarge your page, so depending on how you want it to look like. So the next option there we see is the drawing option. Drawing option which you can use to draw trend lines. So I prefer most time you use this. You can use TradingView for this, or better still, TradingView have more option than Binance, but Binance itself has most of this option you can still work with. Now this is trend line. You can use it to draw trends, to get support and resistance. I use this most of the time to get my possible resistance and support zone. So trend lines work a lot there. You can use this for your analysis purpose. So this is that for the drawing. There are many other tools there you can actually use aside trend lines. There are many other tools you can make use of. Yes, but more so you will be taught on how to use all these tools better on a later class using TradingView. I believe if you can use TradingView for this, using Binance won't be much difficult. It will be an easy stop. So that aside, now this candle chart here you are seeing represents 2 hours movement in the market. Each candle represents 2 hours movement. So if you want to access more time, you just click on here. It shows you from 1 minute you can access from 1 minute, 2 minutes down even up to 1 month. So here you can, when you click on any, if I want to go for 1 hour and I click on 1 hour, each of the candle I will see represents the last 1 hour movement. So that's that for that. Then that aside, now the indicators are just listed underneath. Now there are many indicators, up to 6 or so on Binance, which you can actually use. But for better still, it is good you know very well, become a guru at least 3 to 4 indicators and know very good on them, know how to use them properly, be best at it. So on my ebook, on the trading class ebook, I've already given explain most of these indicators, drop videos and all of that. But here what I'm going to do, I'm just going to throw some more light on them, at least talk on 1, 2, 3 or 4 indicators, and then we are going, I will also show you how to apply them in your trading, and then we can call it off. So the first indicator we see there is the M indicator, which is can also be referred as simple moving average. That's SMA. Now this indicator shows the average price movement within the last 14 hours. In other words, it calculates the closing price of that crypto, of that candle BCH. Now we are talking about, it calculates the closing price in the last 14 hours divided by the total time taken. I don't want to use this big grammar because most of these videos you watch them, these are how they explain it and break it down, but I might be able to make it more simpler for you, bring it to a context where you can actually understand and apply it very well. Okay, so let's go for it now. Clicking on the M indicator, this is how it goes. These lines you see here are indicating the moving average. They are already calculated and they give you a trend. Now this is how I use it. If the first line you see there, the purple line, happens to be at the top, there's it's showing you, or it's telling you that the price probably is going down, is going bearish. You get, when the pink line and the yellow line you see there, the pink line is actually the main average indicator. When those two happen to be underneath and the purple happens to be on top, it's showing that the price is probably going downwards, and as you can see here, the purple happens to be on top while the other ones at the bottom, which you see the price is probably going downwards. Let's go back to recent prices. Now looking at this place very well, you see a movement from there is a movement. Initially here the purple was at the bottom, the price was taking a upward trend. Then when the purple crossed when the purple crossed to the top here, we found out that the price came down a little, then crossing again. At this time it was now at a range. In other words, no one is beating anyone. Both of them, all of them are in a range, in straight line. Then coming here now, presently you can see that the purple is dominating again, trying to tell you that the price probably is going down. I believe this is the simplest way I can explain it for you, so it becomes more easy for you to understand. Now looking at this place, you see around this place there was a low dip, and you see the purple dominating because there was a dip. There was a bearish movement. Now as it comes up, the purple, the pink and the yellow, they cross above. Now look at it. This is one thing. If you want to identify a more stronger or more weighty analysis using the EMA, I advise you use the EMA. Now the EMA is the next indicator you see there. It gives a better show on a more detailed analysis on the EMA. It just works like the EMA, but it's more detailed and more accurate. Now this is it. When you want to make your analysis using these indicators, it's better you take note of when the momentum is very strong. Now there are sometimes when the yellow and the pink color, the pink lines won't cross over the purple at the same time. In other words, if they don't cross at the same time, maybe one at a time, it shows that the momentum is not that strong. Let me look for one to explain it now. Okay. Yeah, let's get it down to this place. Now around this place, we see that there was a crossing, but around this place now, you see there is a crossing a little, but it wasn't too strong. In other words, the movement wasn't too high, showing that the momentum was not strong. So there was a upward movement at the time, but it didn't last for long because the momentum was not too much. So you have to look at the space between these lines in order to get a stronger momentum. Now, like I've said before, the purple at the bottom means price is going bullish. Then when it happens to be on top, dominating the pink and yellow line, price is going bearish. Then if you want to identify the momentum of your analysis or your bearish, either your bearish or bullish movement, you want to identify if the momentum is strong, then it's better you look at the space between this candle. I would say it's divergence or so. We have the place for divergence and convergence, but just look at the space between them, how they cross and intersect themselves. Now the next indicator I want to talk about there is the Bollinger Band. The third one. The Bollinger Band is an indicator that gives us the price for the price range for the recent candle chart in man. Now today's one thing, let's bring it simple. Now the Bollinger Band has an SMA line, which is a simple moving average line at the middle, which is the pink you are seeing there, and two other lines, which are the upper lines and the lower lines, the yellow on top and the purple at the bottom. Now unlike moving average, the Bollinger Band's line, they don't cross, they don't intersect. They move in a straight line. They can either contrast or expand, but they don't intersect. In other words, they will never cross along each other paths. You see in the last few movements, there was never a time where they cross themselves. They will only in contrast or expand according to the price movement. Now the more they expand, showing you indicates to you that the momentum of the price of that crypto, which in this case which is the momentum of the movement of the volatility, is high. Then if the space between them is small, showing that the momentum or the price movement is very low. So more space or more space between these lines shows a high momentum, high volatility. Reduce or lower space show a lower volatility. And most of the times, Bollinger Band can also be related to volume. Now, the more the contrasting, which is the lesser the space become, the lesser the volume in the market within the reset time, and the greater the space between these lines, the higher the volume. The volume itself shows you, it works in a simple way. The volume is also an indicator, though it's not an indicator where you can use to make other analysis like some of the other indicators, but it shows you something. Now this is it. When you look at the volume indicator, the volume indicator indicates that if they are in the recent price movement. Now let's go for 1 day now. For example, if in the past each candle now represents one day. Now if you look off, let's off the Bollinger Band. Now there's the volume, only the volume is on now. See those candles at the bottom, they are one indicating the volume. Now looking at the past how many days, the higher the volume, the volume tends to be, the more possibility for the market to be bullish. Then the lower the volume tends to be, the lesser the possibility for it to be bearish. Now this is how it goes. If there are more high volumes than low volumes within the past few days, means that people are actually buying more. There is actually there's actually more activity around the cryptocurrency within the past few days, and possibly the price might keep going up or might keep staying within a range or so. Then if the volume, the candlesticks that shows lesser volume are more than the one showing high volume, it's trying to tell you that possibly persons are getting disinterested recently on this crypto asset, and possibly there is going to be a time where there will be a little bearish movement. You get? So the volume works in a very simple way. You can use it to make your analysis in a way. So more high volume than low volumes means price might probably go bullish. Then more low volumes than high volume means price might actually go bearish soon. So that aside, let's go back to the Bollinger Band. Now the Bollinger Band is on.